Hello YouTube, today I'll be making a what's in my dock video. So this is for summer 2016. I'm going to discuss what's in my dock, and I'll go slowly application by application on what I use daily. I'm mostly a software developer, so I might be slightly skewed, but I definitely have some cool apps for everyone. So first off, it's Finder. I think just about everyone has Finder. We have Safari, which comes with your Mac, and it's pretty nice. I usually use it. Sometimes I'm lazy and I have two accounts on the same website, so I don't sign out of one and just use Safari instead for some accounts. I feel like it looks nicer on the Retina display than Google Chrome. I also use Google Chrome because it has a lot of extensions, and I have some videos on different extensions, but you have cool stuff. For example, you have for beginners there is Adblock for sure, and you have some cool apps that give statistics on websites, like for example what programming languages made the website. You have debug tools for web developers. You have you can also have, for example, dictionaries built in. You can just double click on something with a dictionary. Wolfram Alpha built in, so you can quickly search stuff up. Even the panic button in case parents come and you want to hide all your websites. And it's really nice and stable. It uses up a lot of RAM though, so that might be an issue. There's also Mail. This is the standard Mail app with the standard Notes app, standard Dictionary app. The cool thing about the Apple Dictionary is that it's offline, so there's Wikipedia also. But there's also, you also have the normal dictionary. ScreenFlow is what I use for screen recordings, and it's actually really cool because you can edit the video afterwards, and there's even some nice basic animation effects. It's actually quite powerful, and it costs $100 on the App Store though. So if you're not willing to spend that money, you could just use QuickTime Player, and you have the option to screen record using that. I use Pages 2009, and some people might think that's really weird, but personally prefer the 2009 version over the old version, over the new version, and they actually keep the old version on your computer. They don't delete it, or at least that's how it was a year or two ago. There's an old file and an old folder, and inside the old folder you can get the old pages. And I like this Pages more because it fits a lot better on halfway through the screen than the other pages. And I just feel like it's nicer. They even removed some templates. I feel like Apple went backwards on some things. Minecraft for occasionally playing with friends. I think I showed some people Pixelmator. It's a really cool app. It's like kind of like Photoshop, but it's a lot cheaper. And I find it really easy to use. You have something like this, and you can quickly just add different gradients, for example. You can add a gradient like that, and you have a lot of stickers. You can get different sticker packs. And the sticker packs are nice because you can quickly add shapes and stuff, and then you can quickly customize them as well. And you can add, for example, a different gradient, or you can add a different color. And you can change everything inside here, which makes it really nice. You can have like that. Have a shadow, you can change the width, change the style of everything. It's just really nice to work with. And there's a lot of flexibility in this program, and they frequently update the program, so it just gets better and better and better. So I definitely recommend checking out Pixelmator. It supports transparency and everything, so you can definitely just use this. I also use the old version of iMovie, so I guess you could say I'm a bit old, but I use it because I just feel like it's nicer to use than the new version. iTunes. I use Android Studio for Android app development. If you're looking into making Android apps, I highly recommend Android Studio. The alternative to Android Studio would be Eclipse, and in fact I'll remove it from my dock because I boot into Windows to use Android Studio. I also have Sublime Text. So Sublime Text is just a text editor with a couple cool fancy features, but I'll carry that in another video since it's very programming related. Coda is also another text editor. It's mostly for web development. I have a video on this one too, but the cool part about Coda is you can have real-time updates on your website, so you don't need to have it side by side like Sublime, having your text editor here and your web page here. Dr. Java for Java development, same thing, it's a basic text editor. Eclipse for programming as well. Now CodeRunner I'd recommend for even non-coders, just to try out programming perhaps, if you're really curious about it. It's really simple. You basically have a bunch of languages over here. So let's try, for example, Python, since Python's easy. You can just get, like, for example, A equals hi print A. And you can just do stuff like that, and then with keyboard shortcuts, or just pressing run, you can get input like that. And it's really nice because And I think I forgot my yeah, I forgot my Python, but anyways, oh, I think it was like this. Yeah. It allows you to do basic commands, and it's pretty nice. You have syntax highlighting. You have some languages, you have auto-completion. You can even add your own languages, and it's just really nice to have everything over here. You can just quickly select the language. You can pre-establish templates. And it's also nice because you can put predefined program inputs in here. So if you're doing something like competitive programming, you can always have your input and just do Command R each time whenever you want to run it. So you just run it like that. You can also have web pages, and it actually renders the HTML web page on the side, so that's pretty cool. So if I go here and I just do like h2 hi, it'll actually output everything. It outputs everything real time. And even as you edit it, in fact, you can put stuff like that and it updates it in real time. It's a really good introduction to coding, or if you just want a really quick code editor. So it has LaTeX, it has JavaScript, it has Java. I even added my own with a fast I/O. Scanners, Go language, C. It has a lot of different languages. It's really nice. It's fast. I believe it's $1 on the App Store, but I definitely recommend it. Even for non-coders, if you just want to get your hands dirty, CodeRunner is a really good alternative. We have Xcode for developing iOS apps. We have Terminal, which some of you may know. There is Parallels Desktop as well. There's also iMessage, and there's a lot more. We have Parallels Desktop, which allows us to run a virtual machine, so that will let us run Windows XP at the same time as Mac. So a very cheap alternative to this one, since I paid $80 for Parallels Desktop, would be to use VirtualBox. And VirtualBox lets you do this for free. But this allows you to basically run another OS in a window. So you can choose the amount of memory you want, the total disk. You can choose to reclaim to reduce the disk size, the CPU cores, and you have a lot of different options. Some of the cool options are that you can even have this just pop up as normal windows. You don't really use the desktop. So it just looks like you're just running a Windows program inside a window on your computer. So something that's really cool. It's basically just like to pretend this window, you just have pinball on here, for example. So it's a really nice, has some really nice features to it. You can run different operating systems. If you plug in a flash drive, you can save the virtual machine on your flash drive. So that's something that's definitely really cool about Parallels. So yeah, that's Parallels Desktop. I also have Goofy. This is called Goofy. I just renamed the file. But Goofy allows you to message people on Facebook, and it looks the exact same as iMessages. So it's a really nice app. Skype for talking to people. If you don't know what Skype is, I'd recommend you Google it. But it lets you talk with people. A lot of people have it. It's a very popular platform, even for phone interviews. Activity Monitor. So this lets you see all of your different activities. So your CPU usages, memory. And newly added, I think 3 years ago. So it's not that new, but we have energy impact, so that's definitely useful. And we can also see what requires a high-performance GPU, so yeah, and what's preventing you from sleeping. We have a nice little graph over here as well. Now, maybe this wasn't that useful to you, but up here are probably some useful apps. I have ClearDay, which lets me see the weather forecast. And I use this a lot, actually, like quite a lot. I can see the current weather forecast, and it's a really nice interface. You have wind here, rain here. It's really polished, and there's nice animations. That is Wunderlist, and I never use it. I should disable it from starting up. PowerShot is probably the best app I have, and I use it so much. It takes screenshots like that. So first of all, it tells you the dimension of the screenshot, and the second cool thing is it gives you quick features. For example, you can do a rectangle here. You can add an arrow here and like this, and press this button over here, and it adds to copy paste to your clipboard. It's really nice. This lets you see your CPU usage, so whenever I'm in an app, I can quickly see if something hardcore is going on, because these turn red. GFX card status, which currently has been freezing a lot lately, lets you switch graphics card around. So if you're using, for example, dedicated graphics, it tells you what's making you use the dedicated graphics. You can choose dynamic switching, so it switches automatically. But sometimes, for example, if you have Google Chrome, you can just open a window and for some reason it wants dedicated graphics even though you're just rendering a normal web page. For example, let's say you're on like a car website and it uses OpenGL to render the cars, so it's a 3D model. It'll probably use dedicated graphics, but you don't care that much about frames per second. So you don't want to use up all your battery, so your battery only lasts 3 hours but you want 7. You would switch on integrated only and you would get significantly more battery life. For example, right now I only have 4 hours with this. So that is GFX card status. LED lights. This is Dropbox. This is Time Machine, Bluetooth, and so on. So those are basically my apps. I also use very often Better Snap Tool. Better Snap Tool lets me snap different windows from corner to corner. And I also have a multi-monitor setup, so I added some quick features for the numpad. So in the numpad, for example, you would have control, and then we have the numpad over here. So we have the top key 7, 8, 9, and then whatever. It's left 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3. I would have control and then 1 on the numpad would put it in this corner. Control 4 would put it on this half. Control 7 would put it in this corner. Control 8 would put it top half. Control 9 like that. Control 5 would fill the whole thing. And this works incredibly fast and it works perfectly. I recommend anyone who has a big monitor to do this. As you probably saw in my other videos, I have a 29-inch ultra widescreen monitor that I sometimes use. So I definitely use that and it makes moving windows really easy. I basically never have to grab, it's just all automated. So it's definitely really cool. I never ever use Notes for Google Keep. I feel like it's a useless app. Self-control is really nice. It lets you control yourself by disabling different websites. Sketch is really nice, and Sketch I actually use occasionally. It's really cool because you get to do really nice iOS design, even web design. Let's see what's in web design. It gives you a bunch of different, basically templates. And inside these different templates you have different, let's see, material design. Oh, open anyway. It lets you have different UI elements and you can make your own interfaces. For example, here I downloaded one off the internet with Android. And you can see the different elements that you can add to your app. And you can create prototypes using this. You don't have to code it yourself using XML or whatever. This lets you do everything really quick and easy. And I find it like it's a really useful app for many people to use and to try out. Definitely have fun with it. This one costs money, but if you're smart about it, maybe you can pay less. Next app that I would find useful from all of this list would be... I occasionally use Battery Monitor. I just have it up there, but I don't really find it that useful. If you like the idea of CodeRunner, I think you would like Foobar 2, which is basically a ripoff, and it's free. But it doesn't work as well, and may as well support the developers, right? It also has these different restrictions, so you have to get your Foobar Plus app from them. And that's also part of the reason why you can't get CodeRunner on the App Store as well. They changed that in CodeRunner 2, so I'm running CodeRunner 2 here. Otherwise, there aren't that many apps. You guys should just check these out if you're interested. I have more videos on my channel. That's basically what I have in my dock and more. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. Comment below if you have any questions or any app requests. Thanks for watching.